How y'all doing tonight? Welcome. Let's sing.
Everybody's here, right? Okay. If you're here, say, I'm here. Yes, thank you. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Northern Colorado. I'm Reverend Sherry. And whatever my pronouns are, I think it's her and she. I have no idea. So anyway, we're so glad that you have decided to join us today. We welcome all lifestyles and beliefs, and no matter who you are welcome here. So we want to take a moment and acknowledge that this service is being held on the ancestral and traditional homeland of the Arapaho, Ute, and Cheyenne peoples. We recognize that this land is rightfully theirs, and we offer our respect and gratitude for their continuing kinship with this place, because truly we stand on holy ground. So our spiritual philosophy, Science of Mind, is inclusive of all spiritual traditions. We believe that at the heart of everything, every spiritual tradition has a shared message that we are all one. So, Amber and I will be your prayer partners today. We'll be up here after the service for one-on-one prayers, so please join with us. So let's say our mission and vision statements together. Our mission is, we are an inclusive community inspiring personal growth, spiritual practice, and a positive way of life. Our vision, to support humanity's spiritual growth, creating a world that works for all. So we have some kiddos today. Y'all want to come up on stage?
Everything I am, so I am not.
Excellent. Have a wonderful time. So, I go over here. So, our February outreach is a wonderful, wonderful nonprofit here in town. It's called Three Hopeful Hearts. To share more about the incredible work they do and their impact, please welcome our guest speaker, Executive Director Sarah Salty. Come on up.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here before you this evening, not just as a representative of Three Hopeful Hearts, but as someone whose life has been forever changed by the work this organization does. My name is Sarah Salty. I am the Executive Director of Three Hopeful Hearts, and I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to share a little bit about who we are, what we do, and why your generosity means so much. At Three Hopeful Hearts, our mission is to walk alongside families who are navigating the unimaginable heartbreak of losing a child. We provide compassionate support, resources, and safe space for parents and families to grieve. When a child passes away, it can feel as though the world has stopped, and the weight of grief can feel isolating and overwhelming. Our role is to ensure that no family has to carry that weight alone. I know firsthand how deeply impactful this organization is because when my 21-year-old son Gabe died of an accidental overdose in 2017, Three Hopeful Hearts provided a community of people who understood and a space where my grief could be shared. And then I could also receive tools to begin moving forward with hope and purpose. What I've learned through my journey and my work with Three Hopeful Hearts is that there really is power in coming together in the midst of tragedy. The work we do is only possible because of communities like yours. With open hearts, who can shine a light into someone else's darkness. Because of your support, we can offer grief support groups, one-on-one support, camps, and retreats, and many other meaningful events that give grieving families a place to honor their child's memory. We also provide resources and education to help our greater communities understand how to support those who are grieving. And we do all of this at no cost to families so they can focus on their healing. Your kindness is a reminder to families like mine that they're not forgotten. Your support radiates hope and love into the lives that desperately need it. Gabe's memory and the memory of so many other children are honored through your care and compassion. On behalf of Three Hopeful Hearts and the families we serve, thank you so much for your prayers, your generosity, and your commitment to helping us continue this important work. You're part of a powerful mission that brings healing, hope, and light to those who need it most. Thank you so much.
Well, there was a wonderful CSL NOCO 101 class today, and if you missed it, don't worry. There's one more chance to take advantage of it for this time. Our final session will be next Sunday, February 9th, and it allows you to become a part of the CSL NOCO family. We want to make sure you understand all about the community, what we believe, and how you can get involved. So we'd love to welcome you, and let's grow together. So, next Friday, Friday the 7th, is Connect with Your Guides workshop. So who went to the workshop, introductory workshop? Okay. So if you missed it, or you're ready to explore even deeper, join us for the Deep Dive workshop this Friday with award-winning shamanic practitioner and visionary artist, Catherine Skaggs. Expand your connection with hands-on tools, guided meditations, and teachings to awaken your intuition and align with divine wisdom. Don't miss this opportunity to deepen your spiritual connection. So there's a discount for you, and you can go to the folks at the computer set up in the lobby, and they will help you register online there. So, Reverend Lee.
So I'm up here because I want to talk about a couple of really great classes we have coming up. So, Financial Empowerment Workshop. Let me just say, Chuck has taught this class before, and I didn't go. For whatever reason, I didn't go. I don't know, I had a busy life. But I went this last one, and I'm telling you, if you are not already managing your money, if you have someone else managing it, you probably don't need the class. But if you are trying to do it on your own, come to this class. I am not kidding. I now have a financial advisor. I now feel like an adult with my money. I mean, I'm not kidding, it's a wonderful, wonderful class. And Chuck does a fabulous job with his knowledge and his expertise. He brings in people, he brings in a financial advisor and some other folks to share and just guide you through this process. Money is an interesting thing, and if you want a little assistance and you want to feel empowered, which is what this class is about, please come, please sign up. And it's, what do we charge you? Not very much, $35. And if that's a problem, please see me after, and we will make sure that you get into the class and not have to pay a dime. Okay? That's how important this is. All right, next thing I want to talk about is my paperwork work. Can you help me out back there? Thank you. Okay, Pathway to Prosperity. We do this once a quarter. So tomorrow night, on Monday, it'll be on Zoom, and it's just an opportunity to gather on Zoom to hear about some financial updates, how we're doing as a community financially. You get to ask questions. I'm going to walk you through a little visualization, a little meditation. So it's not just all about money and our finances, but it's also for your own abundance and your own prosperity. So come to that. That's on Monday at 6:30 on Zoom, and more information is in our newsletter. All right, everybody. I believe that is it. Everything else can be found on our website, cslnoco.org. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Jim.
Just take a deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. We're going to slow things down just a little bit. So close your eyes if it's comfortable. And on the next inhale, silently say to yourself the following words. Love is who I am. Love is who we are. Love is all there is. Take another gentle breath. Love is who I am. Love is who we are. Love is all there is. Music, the piano, and to just fill our entire being with love. Truly, love is all there is. In the God of my understanding, the divine presence, the infinite, invisible, everything that is, it's the Holy Father, the Divine Mother, Grace, Spirit, Jesus. It's God, it's source, supply, it's power, but most of all, it is love. And love is what calls us here to this thing called life. Each and every one of us has individualized expression of this one love, designed out of the fullness of that which is incomprehensible. Magnificent. Power, come for divine community, we come for understanding, we come for inspiration, for connection, for a sense of peace and belongingness, and we come for love. And so I declare that love permeates this entire service from all whose helping hands created this space, our music, our praise minister. Each one of us brings our fullness into this experience that we may collectively know something greater than we walked in the door. And so I declare that this service is divinely orchestrated for great good, inspiration, joy, meaning, but most of all, love. And so we take a deep breath and affirming that Spirit is always with us. Fling our intention into the universe for perfect fulfillment. As we simply let go and let God and let it be, and together we say, and so it is.
was a very special lady, my stepmom. She and my dad married when they were in their late 50s. She had raised a son who was off at college, and now she'd married my father, and they were raising me, an 8-year-old, if you can imagine. Yeah, and she was this brilliant lady. You could give her any word, and she would tell you the definition and the spelling of any word. She was like a walking dictionary. So, of course, she helped me with my homework and helped edit my papers, and she was pretty special. I found out years later that shortly after they married, my dad told her that he married her not because he loved her, but because he wanted me to have a mother. Now, can you imagine hearing something like that? She loved my father. She adored my father. And to hear him tell her that, I love my dad, but I can't even believe that he said that to her. Now, despite that, she chose to stay in the marriage. She didn't leave. She decided to stay. And I think that she stayed. In fact, I know she stayed because she knew that I needed a mom. My biological mother was in another state. She was an alcoholic. So she knew that I needed a mother. And so she stayed. Towards the end of her life, she began to decline rapidly. She lived in Santa Barbara, and I lived in LA. I drive up to see her every weekend to spend time with her. You know, it wasn't until I left home that I started to really appreciate who she was. So I wanted to make sure I could spend as much time with her in her later years. And then she passed. And when she passed, I remember feeling terrified that she was somehow in pain on the other side. At that time in my life, I didn't understand really about death. I didn't understand what it meant. All I knew is that she wasn't here. And so I was afraid that she was hurting somehow. And I remember thinking about it every day. Is she okay? Is she okay? Oh my God, is she okay on the other side? Where is she? I don't know. I just know she's not here. And then one day, I had a dream. She showed up in one of my dreams. And it was on the beach, beautiful sunny day. The sun was shining. It was a beautiful blue skies. And she's bright, she's vivid, she's smiling, she's happy, and she takes my hand. And she says, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm well. I remember when I woke up that morning, I knew it was real. I could feel it. And I was so relieved to know that she was okay. Hugh Seattle said this: there is no death, only a change in worlds. You know, what I didn't understand at the time of her death was that her soul lived on. It was just simply this package that had gone away. That was it. She had just moved to another plane of existence. And that's where she was speaking to me from that plane. You know, souls often speak to us in dreams because in the dream state, there's nothing blocking us. There's nothing there to block this communion with the soul from the other side. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, he taught that death is simply a change in form, that we move from one plane to the next. So it's not an ending at all. He taught that there was no such thing, actually. The soul is eternal. It's on forever. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says this: the soul is neither born nor does it ever die, nor having once existed does it ever cease to be. The soul is without birth, eternal, immortal, and ageless. So if the soul is And so that means that the soul lives on. And the love there between us and our loved ones also lives on, doesn't it? You know, the veil is very thin between this plane and the next one. So the love that we have for our loved ones, do you know they can feel it? They can feel our love. And when we pray, they can hear our prayers. When we speak to them, they can hear what we say to them. Our relationship doesn't change. It only changes if we choose to change it. I love what Henry Scott Collins said. He said, "Death is nothing at all. I have only slipped away into the next room. I am I, and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are." So the person that we have lost, yes, they are no longer here in physical form. And we mourn that physical form, don't we? But that relationship never dies. That relationship that we had doesn't go away. Ram Dass tells the story of Ramana Maharshi, who was a great Indian saint. And when he was dying of cancer, his devotees said, "Let us help you. Let us fix this. Let us treat your cancer. Please, let us help you." And he said, no. It's time to drop the body. It's time. And his devotees began to cry and sob. And they begged him, please, don't leave us. And he looked at them with great confusion. And he said, "Don't be silly. Where would I go? Where would I go?" And so Ram Dass said, "You know, it's almost like Maharashi was saying, don't make such a fuss. I'm just selling the old family car. That's all I'm doing." Love that. Ram Dass goes on to say, "These bodies we live in and the ego that identifies with it are just like the old family car. They are functional entities in which our soul travels through incarnation. But when they are used up, they die. The most graceful thing to do is to just allow them to die peacefully and naturally, to let go lightly. Through it all, who we are is a soul. And when the body and the ego are gone, the soul will live on because the soul is eternal. Eventually, in some incarnation, when we have finished our work, our soul can merge back into the one, back into God, back into the infinite. In the meantime, our soul is using bodies and egos and personalities to work through the karma of each incarnation." I wanted to share that passage that Ram Dass wrote because I think it describes so beautifully this thing called death and what happens. Yeah? As long as we identify with this body, as long as we identify with the body of the person who has made their transition, we are going to suffer. And we're going to also likely be afraid of death. Most people see death as an end point, an end, rather than a process that one goes through. When we witness someone dying, when we see that, for those of us that have seen that, it does appear as though there is suffering. And yes, sometimes death ain't pretty. But whatever someone is going through, even in death, it is part of their soul's journey. As Ram Dass said, the person's soul chose their particular body. They chose their ego. They chose their personality. And that includes how they die. described as taking off a tight pair of shoes. You know what that feels like? And you take them off at the end of a long day, and it's just like, oh God, it feels so good. That's what death has been described as. Because we are leaving this dense package, we are leaving this dense body, and we are returning home to source, to the beautiful open arms of source. So I invite you to rest in the knowing that death is just another opportunity to connect with Spirit, to connect with that infinite presence. Anyone who has transitioned in your life, they have simply returned back to the open arms of Source. And that is something to celebrate. And we can honor them by trusting and knowing that as a soul, they chose to return home in the exact way that was perfect for them. You know, some leave this plane much younger than we had hoped or expected. And some leave this plane when we witnessed it, the amount of suffering that that person had to go through before their death is painful sometimes to witness. But you know, how they die is part of their journey too. And because we were a witness to it, it's part of ours as well. If we found ourselves at the bedside of someone in our life who was making their transition, it was part of it as well. I was at the bedside of both of my parents, my biological mother and my father. They died about 10 years apart. Now this is interesting. They both had children from previous marriages, and yet none of them were present when they died. I was the only one there. No other relatives, no other siblings, just me, in both cases. I was angry about that when that happened. Where is everybody else? Why am I here to carry this burden? But as I reflected on it, as years went by, what I realized is it was part of my soul agreement to be with them in that way. It was by divine design that I was there, only me, with them, helping them to transition to the next plane of existence. So I have since learned that one of the biggest gifts that we can give to ourselves and our loved ones when they are transitioning is to be an expression of divine love. That is the most important thing. And why? Because love is the great unifier. Love is the great healer. And because we are one with all beings, as we tune in to love, as we expand our heart and send that love from our heart to theirs, whether they are still conscious or they have moved on to the next plane, they will feel that light. And they will feel gratitude that you did that. You know, for some of us, the relationship that we had with people who have transitioned when they were in physical form, for some of us, it was fraught with discord and difficulty. But you know, when they transition, everything changes. When they transition, they move back into this pureness, this allness, this beauty of spirit. All the human stuff that was there when they were in physical form is no longer there. They are free. They are free at last. And in spirit form, all there is love. Did you know? That's all that exists in that realm. And so a different relationship is now possible if we choose. And as we forgive them, we set them free even more. And, of course, we set ourselves free too. the biggest growth of our lifetime. How many of you have experienced that? Somebody experienced that? Yes. Yes, it's pretty profound. Death reminds us something. It reminds us to love ourselves. To love ourselves even more. To love ourselves for all that we are still hanging on to. To love ourselves for the fear of our own death that we still carry. To love ourselves for the unforgiveness that we are still holding on to. To love ourselves for the moments of deep grief and sadness that still live within our heart. Let's choose, consciously choose, to be an expression of God's love, to be an expression of that infinite presence for ourselves, number one. And then for those who have transitioned in our life, whether it was a year ago or 35, 40, 50 years ago, we can be that expression of love and they will feel it. It's a beautiful gift that we get to give. Each of you were given a candle this evening. Anybody not receive a candle? Raise your hand high, and someone will bring you a candle. There's quite a few. Here comes Linda. Thank you, Linda. All right. So tonight, we are going to honor those in our lives who have transitioned. Rituals are a very powerful and supportive way to open our hearts, to connect us to light that represents that light that is God, the light of Spirit. And know that this light is contained within every person, every soul that has transitioned in your life. This light still burns brightly within each and every person, every being. So in a moment, we're going to raise our candles and you're going to speak out loud the names of those that have transitioned in your life, whether it's partners, friends, beloved pets, children, family. Speak each word one after the other until you are complete. So we raise our candles to all those who have transitioned, and we now say their names out loud. Joseph, Madeline, Joyce, Chica, Jack, and now repeat out loud after me. May the longtime sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Gently lower your candles and blow them out. You may be seated. Your loved ones are smiling right now. They are feeling the gratitude of this moment. They're feeling the joy of this moment. Thank you for participating. Everybody just take a deep breath. Very good. So expressing love in this way, we have the ability to still connect with our loved ones. It's a language that can be understood. No words are actually really necessary. It immediately creates a connection, and it creates a light from our heart, and it gets sent to theirs, and from their heart it then returns to us. This beautiful light and exchange between us and them. And this is probably why Rumi said this: love is the bridge between you and everything. Love is truly the bridge that connects us one to the other. As we tune into that love that we feel for those who have transitioned, yes, grief will come, sadness will come. But as we tune into that love, we can feel that expansiveness. We can feel and unite with that infinite light and that infinite presence, that eternal flame that can never, ever be extinguished. And as we unite with that love and we allow it to wash over us, it actually heals us. It becomes a salve that heals our heart. And if you're aware enough, you will notice the gift that you have been given. Because to have self-love, even the smallest bit, for a partner, a friend, a family member, a beloved pet, to have felt that love for someone who is in your life, whether for a short period of time or a lifetime, that means that your heart is open. And that is a gift. That is a gift that they give us. Is it not? That our hearts are open. We can feel. It's beautiful to know. We grieve because we have lost, but in truth, we have lost nothing. The essence of them is still within us. The essence of them is here. I suspect, if I could see in this way, but I can't, but I suspect this room is filled with these beautiful beings, feeling such gratitude that you reached out to them in this way. Infinite love. Infinite love. That is something to celebrate. Let's move into prayer. Practitioners, please stand in the high consciousness. And so what a gift it is to express love, to feel love, to be that love. To have experienced that love in this life for a being, for a person who touched our heart forever. And so I am just knowing that this light and this love that is present here, that this light and love is something that we will carry with us into the rest of this evening and week, that we are able to bring into our heart the love that we have for these beloved beings that touch our life. And I am knowing that we are remembering that the soul is eternal. There is no end point. That soul lives on for eternity. And so how beautiful it is to know that we can connect to that presence, to that being in any moment we choose. We can connect with that eternal flame that burns brightly within them and brightly within us. And so with great gratitude for this moment, great gratitude to be reminded of the truth of our soul, we release this, we let it go, we hand it over to Spirit that always says yes. And with great gratitude, with an open and full heart, we simply say, and so it is.
We are so blessed. Thanks, Stefan. That was awesome. So, let's just take a moment to feel gratitude. Gratitude for the spiritual food that we have received today, and for all the blessings in our life. You have certainly lots to be grateful for. Let's give the guy a hand. Not too often, not that she talks about. Death is not something that we really want to hear about. And we ought to. So thank you. So we recognize that God is the source of our good in our lives. And so we want to share our gifts and tithes to remain in the consciousness of gratitude. I invite you to share your gifts and tithes and gifts and tithes. This is all new to me. And gratitude for all the good in your life. So think about the good in your life. So together we make this community what it is. We want it to thrive. So on the screen you'll see a bunch of ways that you can give through the website, by text, or by mail for today. So however you choose to contribute, thank you for being a part of the teaching of this community. So if you want to take your gift and just put it over your heart, and if you've already done that, we just hold it in memory of the gifts we give. And there's a new affirmation for me. Please say it with me. Money is God's love in expression. Since it is never withheld from me, I choose to give freely of all that comes to me from the one infinite source.
supporting the work that we do now and in the future. I am so grateful for all that is flowing into us, and I bless this, bless this, bless this, and I'm so grateful. So it is.
So if you're here for the very first time, either in person or online, welcome to our spiritual community. We are so glad you decided to join us today. And I would say, make sure if you are new that you go and see Reverend Leah after the service and let her know that you're here. So, you matter. And religious science, science of mind, believes in the power of prayer. We don't beg, plead, or beseech. We affirm a greater good. Amber and I will be available up here after the service for one-on-one prayer. Give us a chance to change your life. So, and if you're online and you have a prayer request, go to the website, cflnoco.org. Everything is there. You can make a prayer request, and It's always a joy for us to come together in community. It's important to share time of connection and inspiration and hugs. So I want to extend my gratitude for everyone who helps make our service possible each week. It takes a dedicated group of people to make this happen. There are people that set up and take down. There's our fabulous musicians, our sound and media team, our welcome team. There's ushers, there's hospitality, prayer partners, and everyone working behind the scenes to create this beautiful experience. Your contributions, whether it's your time, talent, or your treasure, are always appreciated. And so I now also invite you to join us for Sunday supper. Today we will be heading out to a local restaurant, so meet us at the welcome table after service if you'd like to join us. It's always good to have good food and good conversation. So please stand now, if you would, for our benediction and our closing song.